Megalodon, the prehistoric ocean nightmare. When we think of the most terrifying prehistoric monsters, our minds usually default to the image of Tyrannosaurs on land. However, if we step back into the past, between 23 and 3.6 million years ago, hidden deep beneath the ocean was a true killing machine that would make the T-Rex pale in comparison. The super shark Megalodon. The name Megalodon carries the dark meaning of big tooth, and it is a testament to the terror this creature spread. This was the largest shark and one of the most colossal fish to ever exist in Earth's history. With a staggering length of up to 18 meters and a weight that crushed all limits at over 70 tons, Megalodon made other sea creatures look pathetically small. Their ultimate weapon was a massive set of jaws, wide enough to swallow two standing adults whole without any difficulty. Not to mention their sharp teeth, larger than dinner plates, perfectly designed to tear through flesh and crush the bones of prey in a single bite. Megalodon's daily menu consisted of other giants like whales, dolphins, and even their own kind. With absolute destructive power, Megalodon was not just a fish, but the perfect definition of the title apex predator of all time. Woolly mammoth, the giants of the Ice Age bidding farewell to the deep seas of the Megalodon. Let us travel back in time to the frozen lands, where the bone-chilling winds of the Ice Age screamed. Here, our human ancestors had to face and survive alongside one of natural history's greatest icons, the woolly mammoth. These colossal creatures roamed the earth from about 400,000 years ago until they went extinct around 4,000 years ago. Their existence is living proof of a creature's extraordinary ability to adapt to the harshest living conditions. Scientists have even posed an interesting hypothesis. If the woolly mammoth hadn't vanished, would our physically weaker human species have had the chance to rise and become the dominant species of the planet as we are today? In terms of physique, woolly mammoths were truly tanks made of flesh and bone. With a massive weight ranging from 6 to 8 tons and a towering height of nearly 4 meters, they stood like mobile towers amidst the snowstorms. However, the weapon that terrified enemies most was their pair of curved tusks, reaching nearly 4 meters in length. Imagine standing opposite a creature twice your height, possessing tusks as long as a sedan. It is an experience both majestic and horrifying, although they possessed a size and appearance as terrifying as, or even overwhelming to, many carnivorous dinosaurs. Fortunately for our ancestors, woolly mammoths were herbivores. This means they didn't hunt humans for dinner. However, don't let that vegetarian diet fool you. With the power of an 8-ton body and sharp tusks, these furry giants were forces of nature that could not be underestimated. They are a reminder of a time when humans were not the strongest beings on land. Saber-toothed tiger, a silent assassin of the Pleistocene epoch, leaving the gentle herbivorous giants behind. We step into the territory of one of the most fearsome predators of the Pleistocene, and perhaps of all time, the saber-toothed tiger. This prehistoric cat dominated the land between 2.5 million and 10,000 years ago, acting as silent assassins, spreading terror across every territory they traversed. The scariest thing about the saber-toothed tiger is not just its strength, but its temporal proximity to humans. There is a very real possibility that your ancient ancestors had life or death encounters with this beast. They were not overgrown house cats, but perfect fighting machines. With a length of up to 2 meters from head to tail and a body weight exceeding 300 kilograms, they possessed enough muscle power to take down the most colossal prey. The saber-toothed tiger's menu included targets that even modern humans would fear, from mammoths to mastodons. However, their signature weapon was their pair of giant canine teeth. These 2 teeth were no different from 2 sharp curved swords, designed to pierce through thick skin and inflict fatal wounds. Unlike predators that rely on endurance speed, the saber-toothed tiger was a master of the art of ambush. They attacked unexpectedly, using explosive power to subdue prey and finish them off with successive lethal bites. Their ferocity and assassin skills are rated so highly that, if placed on a scale of comparison, the saber-toothed tiger could totally take on and even outmatch dangerous dinosaurs like velociraptors. These were truly the ultimate warriors of the ancient natural world. Dinopithecus, the nightmare from the human gene pool, after witnessing deep-sea monsters or swamp assassins. The next name on the list might not send shivers down your spine immediately, due to a massive appearance. But the fear it brings comes from a closeness in bloodline. Look deep into our own gene pool, and you will find a violent and formidable relative. The prehistoric primate, Dinopithecus, living between 2.5 million and 500,000 years ago. Dinopithecus was essentially a giant baboon. Although when weighed against multi-ton mammoths, Dinopithecus's weight of around 50 kilograms seems modest. However, do not let the numbers deceive you. In the world of primates, 50 kilograms is a colossal size, double that of the largest baboons today. What made Dinopithecus a terror lay not just in muscle, but in the harsh environment that forged their nature. Remember, they survived in the same time and place as killing machines like saber-toothed tigers or other top-tier predators. To avoid extinction amidst a siege of such monsters, Dinopithecus was forced to become extremely aggressive, intelligent, and organized. Even more terrifying, this primate was a direct competitor to early human ancestors. Imagine the scenario of weak ancient humans facing a furious pack of Dinopithecus, creatures possessing strength, sharp canine teeth, and pack intelligence. They not only knew how to defend themselves against large beasts, but were ready to attack anyone invading their territory. Clearly, these monkeys knew exactly how to turn the lives of other creatures into a living hell.
Elasmostherium, the horrifying truth of the Siberian unicorn. In the world of mythology and fairy tales, the name unicorn usually evokes images of beautiful white horses, representing magic and purity. However, if you travel back to prehistoric times to meet the Siberian unicorn, also known as Elasmostherium, you would have to immediately discard all those romantic illusions. The reality was much more brutal. This was no magical horse, but the giant and violent ancestor of the modern rhinoceros. Elasmostherium possessed an appearance that would make any creature of that time tremble with fear. With a colossal body weight of up to 4.5 tons, they were many times heavier than large cars. But the most terrifying highlight was a unique weapon protruding from their forehead, a single giant horn. Although horn fossils are rarely found intact due to the decomposable nature of keratin, scientists estimate that this weapon could have been up to 2 meters long. Imagine a 2-meter spear attached to the head of a 4-ton beast. That is a true nightmare. What made Elasmostherium even more dangerous was not just its size or horn, but its speed. Usually, we think giant creatures are slow, but Elasmostherium was an exception. Nature gifted them with long, muscular legs, turning them into sprinters on the vast steppes. The combination of the weight of an armored tank and the speed of a racehorse turned Elasmostherium into a living cannonball. No enemy, whether human or beast, would want to stand in the way when this unicorn was charging. They're proof that ancient nature always knew how to create monsters far beyond human imagination. Glyptodon, the armored tank of the ancient world. If previous creatures impress with sharp jaws or colossal size, the next creature brings a feeling that is both weird and scary in a very unique way. Welcome Glyptodon, a prehistoric mammal with a shell. A being possessing an appearance and strength that would make even the most aggressive dinosaurs hesitate. At first glance, you might associate Glyptodon with modern armadillos curling up, looking quite harmless. But erase that cute thought immediately, because this is actually a monster version magnified many times over. Glyptodon was truly a living tank with a length of up to 3 meters and a weight of over a ton. Their entire body was encased in a hard, bony shell, forming an impenetrable dome shield against all predator claws. A saber-toothed tiger, no matter how long its fangs, would struggle to pierce this natural steel-reinforced armor. However, what made Glyptodon a terror lay not just in passive defense. Nature equipped them with a brutal offensive weapon located at the rear, the tail. Glyptodon's tail was not soft, but structured like a giant, powerful, spiked club. This was a perfect biological design for low-range counterattacks. Imagine the power of a tail whip from a creature weighing over a ton. It was like swinging a 1,000-pound sledgehammer into an opponent's legs. Even an Ankylosaurus, the famously stubborn armored dinosaur, if foolish enough to mess with a Glyptodon, would meet a tragic end. Just one precise strike from that spiked tail club, and the enemy's ankle bones would shatter instantly. With solid armor and heavy weaponry, Glyptodon was a mobile fortress that no creature wanted to bump into on the road. Prehistoric insects and scorpions, when the little ones became monsters. To conclude the list of creatures scarier than dinosaurs, we don't need to look to the sky or dive to the ocean floor, but look down at our feet, the realm of the creepy crawlies that we view as pests today. If you think modern cockroaches or scorpions are disgusting enough, their ancestors from 300 million years ago would give you actual nightmares. First is the giant cockroach. In the modern world, cockroaches are a symbol of filth, but also a testament to resilient vitality. However, going back about 300 to 359 million years, that resilience was elevated to a new level. These prehistoric cockroaches possess sizes of up to 9 centimeters. That number might not seem impressive compared to a dinosaur, but imagine a cockroach the size of a hand, encased in an exoskeleton hard as steel, scuttling around your kitchen. No slipper or bug spray today would be strong enough to take down these tiny armored vehicles. But if cockroaches only cause a feeling of disgust, the next name truly brings death. Pulmonoscorpius, the prehistoric scorpion. Brace yourself, because this is the brutal reality of nature. A scorpion species possessing a tail larger than a human body. Living about 300 million years ago, Pulmonoscorpius was the embodiment of primal dread. Not only did they use giant pincers to clamp down and tear prey apart, but they also possessed an ultimate weapon, a tail containing deadly venom. Facing a dinosaur, you worry about being bitten, but with this scorpion, the fear also comes from being injected with venom from a horrifying sting. Any creature living in the same era as them understood a simple rule of survival: stay as far away from these assassin scorpions as possible.